You've got your camp host on the right here for this section, and then a couple of bathrooms here. There are pit toilets. There is a water spigot there, and the first site in this area we're going to come to is 45. It's on the inner loop here. These are all back-in sites due to fire hazard, I guess. And we'll take a walk down the non-reservation units. These are not bookable online. In fact, online when I looked, it showed that they were closed for maintenance, but I think they just have that because they're first come, first serve. So sites 1 to 44 are first come, first serve. This is site 1. And I'm here a little before check-in, and it's pretty empty on a Wednesday, and like you could have your pick of these first come, first serve sites. Number 2 is on the left, and it is right, let me show you this first, right across from a spigot. A nice site. Number 3 here on the right, kind of exposed, not a lot of shade. And number 4 here on the left. I don't think this is a great site because you've got that electric box or power box, I'm not sure what that is right there. Number 5, park here and walk your stuff way back there, but it's a really cool site. There's shade, a lot of area for a couple tents, and pretty flat. It's a pretty private site. Number 6, you're parking here right up against the road, and then you're walking your stuff all the way back up in there. I don't recommend this site. And there is potable water next to number 6 and next to number 7 right here on the right. Number 7 here, you're going to park here and hike your stuff way up there. Not a fan of this site. This campground is huge though. Number 8 is on the right here. So you're going to park here and pack your stuff up there. There's a couple of outhouses here. Number 9, not a great site in my opinion. Number 10 is here on the left. It's pretty exposed, but there is room underneath that tree over there for your tent and some shade. This is 11 on the right. Pretty exposed site. No shade here. And then 12 on the left. 13 is nice. It's open site, so you're not much privacy at all, but there's a nice shade area right up there. 14 and 15 are here on the left, and they are closed. And you can see why. They had a downed tree. And then 16, a pretty open site. Then you've got outhouses right here. Yeah, so in the non-reservable sites, it's outhouses versus pit toilets. Keep that in mind. 17 is here. Long driveway, but very exposed. And no shade. coming up to 18 and 19 on the left here. These are very open sites, very exposed, but beautiful views behind. 20 is here on the right. Not a great site in my opinion. '21 is right here. Also not a great site. These sites are pretty small. This is right next to a water spigot though. So 21, 22, not a lot of great space for a tent at 22. Maybe over here, but this is 23 actually. So 21, 22, 23, and 24 are all by this water spigot. This is 24, a long driveway, and a little spot for a tent there, and some shade. And then right up here is the camp host for this section. So if you get 25, you'd be here, and you'd be next to the camp host. This is 27, and it's closed as of today's date, July 31st, 2024. And then right here on the right is 28. So you're parking here and walking your stuff down to that area. It's not bad. 29 is nicer. It's right here on the left. You're closer to your table, fire ring, bear box, but a little sloped for a tent. So 29, 30 is here. Let's check this one out. Short little parking pad. Shaded area over here for your bear box and picnic table. Fire ring. Kind of a cool little site. Secluded. And then there's a water spigot right here. So 30's pretty cool actually. You could put your tent right up in that area. '31 is here on the left. There's absolutely no shade for 31. '32, also no shade. And you've got a little bit of a walk back here for your picnic table, bear box. Not a lot of shade there either. This is 33 on the left. Your picnic table is right up against the road. So is your bear box, so is your fire ring, and a little spot for a tent. No shade. 34 is a nice site. So you park here. Nice and flat area for the picnic table, the bear box. You could put a tent under the shade here. I like site 34. And there's a water spigot right there for site 34. .35 is closed. So if you get 34, you'll be kind of secluded. 36 is here on the left. It's a fairly large campsite area, but it's sloped. So 36, the ground is uneven. 37 is, let's check this side out. Nice and shaded for the vehicle. Really secluded back in here. So you have a shaded picnic table, bear box, a fire pit. Yeah, this is a nice site. I recommend 37 in this loop. .38 is on the left. So the outside sites do not have shade. There's a water spigot right next to 38 here and 37. And then 39 and 40 right up here at the end. And directly in front of us is a camp host and extra parking. This is 39. Not much shade. And then 40's got shade. A little slope to it. And then 41 has shade as well, but a slope. Back here at the split where you go either to first come first serve, sites 1 to 44, or the reservations only, you take a left here and we'll check out these sites. So it's 3 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. These sites say they were booked online. It's really empty. Here's 46 on the left. Well, it looks like you'd park here and then you'd put your tent and everything back up in there. It's secluded though because there's nothing across from you. And then the next site we have is here, which is 47. And you're going to be back over into that area there, right up against the mountain. It's beautiful. And right next to 47 is a water spigot. And then coming up to 48, completely in the shade for your vehicle to park. Parts of the site are in the sun, and it is sloped, so not level. But you do have restrooms right across the way here. These restrooms are right across from site 49, which is completely exposed to everything. No shade, and also people walking by, the road, the bathrooms. But if you need to be near the bathroom, site 49. There's a trail here, and I may check this out tomorrow. I think this might go up to kind connect to the Pacific Crest Trail. I'm not sure about that, but when I hike that, I will let you know. So coming up here, sites 51 is on the right and 50 is on the left. '51 is nice. Park here, and then you have all this area. 50 is you're parking here, but then you're setting up, looks like way over there. So 50 is quite far from your car, if that matters to you, but it's close to the restrooms. Coming up here to site 52 on the right. This is a really nice site. I like this one. It's very private. Picnic tables over there. Park right here, and the fire pit. 53 is nice too. Look at this site, completely shaded. Parking here. Nice flat spot for your tent. Huge area for kids to play or whatnot, your picnic table. I recommend site 53. And 54 for that matter. 53 and 54 are nice. 54 is really secluded back in there. A great place to put your tent. Right back behind the bear box there. And it's really pretty. And then you have your water spigot here. You're nice and close. This is 55 on the left. So this is your tent area right here. And then your parking here. And table, firing, bear box. 56 on the right here. Nice site. I would say these sites that are reservable are actually nicer, some of them, than first come first serve sites. 57. This one must be, oh, I see, there's a tent way back there. So this one you've got to hike on this little trail to get to your site, but if you want to be remote from your vehicle, 57. 58 is up against the hill. Very beautiful, not so private, and completely sloped. You would have a hard time with a tent on this site. And then 59 is right here. It's very flat. Nice area for your tent. Kind of open, but you have a water spigot right there. That's really nice. It's like your own water spigot. And then this is a site I did have. I had both these sites, 60 for tonight, and then I had 61 tomorrow night for 4 nights. But I'll tell you where I was able to move. So 60 is, nice and level and flat. It's very beautiful up against the rocks, but very exposed. Same with 61, right there where the tent is. However, if you have guests coming and you need to park cars, there's probably 8 sites right along here that you can park an extra car. So that's really nice. If you have a visitor coming, it's $8 a day extra for that car. And then these are bathrooms, but they are closed. It looks like that's an old building. And then here it splits, and we'll take this route first. So site 62 to 78. So 62 is here on the right. I like this site. I was in it earlier just to check it out. It's got this huge tree, beautiful up behind it, and then it's just really nice and shaded. I mean, you're gonna see campers in the campground from this site, but Then it'll be a little more noisy, not so secluded, but it's a nice site. 64 is on the sides 62 to 78. We'll go this way first. Right here on the right is 62. It's got a nice shaded area for a tent underneath. And then site 64 is here on the right. So they kind of share this same tree cover. But there's room for a tent like right here. 64. And then 63 is across the way. And 63 has a water spigot right next to it. And this is 65 on the right. So your area for the fireplace and bear box and maybe even a tent is kind of close to the road right here. But nice, all of these in the 60s on the odd numbers are up against this really beautiful area here that's empty. 66 is right here on the inside, not quite as private, but all these spaces have a lot of room. The 67 here on the right, pretty big space, and it is right across from a water spigot. And then coming up here on the right, 68 and 69, these are double spots, so plenty of room, 2 picnic tables, 2 bear boxes, and all that room back there. And then just down here on the left from 68 and 69 are restrooms. So if you want to be near the restrooms, those are good spots. 67 coming up here on the right. This is 70 on the right. It's right across from the bathrooms. If you need that or want that, 70 is right across from the bathrooms. And then 71 is coming up here next on the right, and it's also near the bathrooms. So 71, you're parking here, and then your camp area is back up there. '73 is on the left here, and there is a water spigot right here. So 73, you're walking your items back to that table back there, and you're parking here. And then 72, you're on a little bit of a slope, but you do have room for your tree, or you have room for your tent up under that tree there. It's kind of nice. And we're coming up to 75 is on the right here. It's actually a nice spot. However, the road to enter is right up there, and then there's a dumpster for the whole campground right there. So this could get noisy in this area. And 74 is right here. It's pretty exposed, so no shade really here, but a huge site. And we're coming up to 76 and 77. 76 is here on the right. up against the road and the dumpster there, so not a lot of privacy. People coming in. 77 has nice shade for the tent. Actually, 77 is a pretty nice site, but you're kind of sandwiched in between two roads, so not as private. And then 78 is right here, and that is a totally exposed site, even no shade on that site. We're coming up here to the entrance, and right in front of me is a camp post. If we go to the right, we would be exiting the campground and walking to the dumpster. And the very first site you're going to come to is number 44, right here off the main entrance road, and it's quite exposed. It's the first site you're going to come to. We'll take a left here going to sites 79 to 88, and 79 is here on the right. It's very exposed, but it's very flat and very big. It is right across from a water spigot here, and then there is a camp post right here. So if you don't want to be near the camp post and kind of in between two roads, don't choose that site. They have firewood on site. You can purchase your firewood here. This is site 81 on the right. Someone's just setting up. Nice in the trees, nice and shaded. And there is a water spigot right here, so in between 81 and 82. This is 82. Really flat, very nice. Nice and shaded, but exposed. I'm impressed that this campground has so many water spigots spread throughout the campground. They've done a good job. It's paved roads, and it's very clean. They've maintained it very well. Site 83 here on the left. It's a pretty cool site. I guess you would put your tent back over there. So keep in mind, this is, a campground that if you had an off-road van, even a B class could get down the road. It's just dirt, and there's a few pretty good bumps in it, but you don't need that high. You don't need a 4x4. This is 84. So your campsite is over here. Kind of a cool site. And then 85. I like this loop a lot. What is this? 79 through 88? This is a nice loop. Right in these big trees. It's well laid out. But also just keep in mind, like I said, I don't think you need a 4x4 to get back here. I have a Crosstrek Subaru, and it completely was fine. In fact, I didn't even need the clearance that I had with that. But these campsites are designed really not for trailers. If you had a small towable, like, maybe under 20 feet, and it sat somewhat high off the ground, like on more of an off-roading trailer, for sure you can fit in these sites, and you can drive on these roads within the campground, no problem. But even a small motorhome, if it was, somewhat high clearance, maybe a super class C will be kind of big for this, but it would have the clearance to get down the road. I'm just giving you an example. But also keep in mind, these sites are built with these, I thought they were wooden, but they're actually like stone pillars right here. So just keep in mind that if you do bring a wide vehicle or trailer, you're going to have that to contend with along the sites. And I guess they've done that to keep people from, you know, bringing big rigs in here or parking off the pavement. Anyway, this is site 86. Really shaded, long driveway, and nice flat area for your tent all through here. You would butt up against that site back there though. This is 88 on the right. So you're kind of exposed because that's the entrance to the park up there. That's the dumpster for everyone. And you're coming down here. And then you'd be kind of exposed in between these camp roads. And 87 is here. I guess 87's bear box and fire pit are all back in here. So yeah, it's right back there. So away from the car, and you're kind of visible and not too secluded from 86. That's a tour of Hanna Flat Campground. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more information on it, you can go to the following link. I'll link the website below. And if you have questions, feel free to send me a message or a comment here. Drop a comment if you have stayed in this campground, and if you've been up here at Big Bear and where you like to stay. So anyway, please consider subscribing. It helps my channel grow, and I will talk to you and see you in the next video. Travel safe.